What's happening, guys? My name is OTG and welcome back to Davilo's Journey. We are here for a brand new episode. You can see in practice we got P11 just behind Jenson Button. It was a very slim margin, 0.03 of a second from JB. So it ain't exactly the worst performance in practice we've ever had. But you can see on lap 1 in Q3 we're coming round on the set of the prime orange wall tyres. We're able to DRS up and we go first, but it's not good enough seemingly. We're in P16, we need to make improvements and we go up to P12. We're still only just ahead of Jules Bianchi, and that's showing that the primes aren't good enough for us. So back down, you can see we've been shutting down to P18. We need to do well, so I've put on a set of the option tyres. It just sums up we haven't got much pace in this McLaren round this track at all. So we're going on the set of the option tyres. We've only got a minute and 30 seconds left to go. We're probably not going to have a chance to set another. We're not going to have a chance to set 2 more laps, so it will have to be a 1 more lap thing. But it doesn't look like we're going to have much issues there. So we go 9 tenths down on the Hulkenberg, who was also on the option tyres. So we're safely through to Q2, and we're here in Q2 now. You can see we set an average time originally, but there was nothing really to show. But we're coming across, and you can see that we are setting a time that is good enough to put us into 15th, of course. There you go, that's our 15th time. And we're coming around these final few corners. We're a second down. We're a second down. A minute remaining in the session. What am I on about? And we come across the line. We make a little improvement. 6 tenths off the pace. Button only a few hundredths off, and that puts us in P12 for the start of the Spanish Grand Prix. Jenson Button is in P11. The McLaren boys not having the best of times here in Spain, but Massa and Valtteri Bottas getting through in the Williams, which is important for us to see. Now you're going to get to see the setup. It's clearly not the best setup in the world, hence why we're so low down. 2-1 wings is probably the main thing to look at. It's not a bad idea to have 2-1 wings, but I like a little bit more downforce, so I improved it for the race. I like downforce around the track just to give me through the corners. We're not going to be beating these cars because of the traction control on the straights, which is just so overpowered as hell. The fact that AI cars get traction control and I'm not having it just shows that we've clearly got some form of competition that we're showing at the moment. So, you know, things to look forward to in this race. We really need to get some points, a good performance. We start in P12, our target's P9. We got the 5 lights, they're on their way. You can see for the first time it seems like we're side by side with Jenson Button. It was showing signs in practice. We're underway. Jenson with some really good wheel spin there, if you notice. If you looked on Jenson's rear tire, oh wow. Rear tyre, if you look back on that, really good wheel spin. Sergio Perez not doing too great, but Jenson's up into the points already now. We're breaking around the outside. We're shunting our way through now. Nicely done. A little bit of contact on Valtteri Bottas there, but we make our way through. Next up is Raikkonen, who we go straight up the inside of. Alonso now around the outside. We almost go run off, so we have to make a quick braking adjustment. Nico Rosberg's down in P5. You can see he's having a little bit of a torrid time. On going to brake later, almost making contact with Alonso, but quick reactions there mean we slow the car down just in time. A little bit of contact with Fernando. We're 5 tenths down on them, down on Rosberg when the time was done. Up the inside of Fernando Alonso, and that's us up into P5. So not a bad performance. It's actually a really good position to have in the early stage of this Grand Prix. Now coming through onto lap 4, you can see there's a lot of wind and rain. There's it looks like there might be wind and rain. Sorry. And you can see Valtteri Bottas goes up the inside. We outbrake him and we keep hold of the position, which is one thing really annoying about this game. For some strange reason, we always have to wait, and we always have this thing where the cars they just brake so early on career mode. It's just so pointless. I don't understand it. But you can see now it's saying coming to the pits, and it's slowly beginning to rain. But we have to pit for a set of the soft tyres because we ain't going to be able to last otherwise. It's a really annoying thing. But we're going to check the race directory in a second. As you see, it's about to pop up. There we have it. And you can see the cars ahead have pitted for primes and options. So clearly that's what's going to have to happen because the AI normally very rarely get this wrong. And it's not exactly pissing it down at the moment. So, and apparently we've lost our front wing. So I don't know what's happened there. I looked at it, we've lost our front wing. I don't remember losing my front wing, but we get held up 7 seconds in total. And there's not really much rain, so these option tyres should be okay for 4 laps or so to get us through to this get us through to when the rain comes down. And you can see we're coming out of the pits, and for some reason it seems that it's nice, it's okay conditions, but the rain's coming out a lot heavier than I thought it would, and you can see it's actually got quite damp since we've been in the pit stop. So it looks, and you can see now there's water coming off. So suddenly, as we enter the pits, there's been some form of monsoon over the start-finish straight, and we're now having to pit again behind Max Chilton. What has happened? Everyone else is in the pit lane as well. This is horrendous. So something's happened. The game's glitched out. There's no way just while we're in the pit lane, while we're stationary for 7 seconds, does the rain come down that much. That is unbelievable. Some form of typhoon has hit the Spanish coast of Barcelona. No, there's no. Is Barcelona the coast? No. No, I'm thinking of Valencia. Nah, don't worry. And for some reason there, the game put us on prime tyres. So I called upon the first ever flashback we used for this entire series and put on a set of intermediates because the game doesn't understand that I want the intermediate tyres. Why doesn't it understand that? I mean, the fact it's telling me to pit for intermediates and it puts me on a set of goddamn primes. That doesn't even make sense. But coming into the pits, and there you have that's Massa. Sorry, Massa just comes out cheekily just in front of us, and it's a weird one at the moment. It doesn't look like it's wet enough, but when you're actually on the track, there is definitely water on there. But if you look at it just by visually, it looks dry, but it's very much a wet race. And you can see now there's water coming off the back of Felipe Massa, and for some reason we're finding a lot of pace on these intermediate tyres compared to Massa. We're right behind him. We're going to have to use slipstream, of course, being no DRS. We're up into rich fuel mixture, which means we'll have wheel spin out the corners, but we'll bring it down to standard just before going into the corners. 5 tenths down on Felipe Massa now. We're closing down on him. You can see Chilton's doing a great treat for us holding them up, but it doesn't seem like he is actually. Up the inside of Felipe Massa, and that's us up into P13 as we try and hold on to our consistency of having a point from every single race this season now. Next up is Pastor Maldonado. Not long later, you can see the rain is absolutely coming down. It is definitely having we're having some rain, I would say. But coming in now, round the fast right-hander, you can't go flat round there, going down to 5th gear. Up into 6th then, now up into 6th, we're up into rich fuel mixture, going to go down to stand as we come into the corner. Pastor Maldonado still ahead of us now. He must be counting his blessings because he is ahead of a McLaren that he's been battling at the higher end of the higher end of the spectrum, yet to pick up a win in the McLaren, but we're definitely doing some good positive signs now. It says pit stop, so what are we going to do? We're going to come in for a pit stop on the fresh set of the intermediate tyres. Massa's got past Maldonado. We might be able to get some points. You can see there's a cluster of cars also coming into the pits when we're coming in, but we really need to try and get some points in this race. We need to keep that consistency going where we always score points. You can see us coming into the pits now. It's going to be a terrible time. The McLaren looks very shiny thanks to this wet conditions. You can see the shine, the glisten of the McLaren as the Dark Knight comes out. Not the best time in the world, but we exit in the pit lane trying to get a decent exit, a decent few laps now. We're going to have a quick look at the instant replay, and overall it seems to be pretty well. I think I was meant to press on the no, that's what I was meant to press on race directory, so I don't know why we look on the instant replay. Fair enough, but we're coming out of the pits and you can see now it's beginning to dry up. There's no more rain, so how many laps until it will be dry tyres? This is incredible. What a race. I've never had a race before where it's gone dry, wet, dry. But now we're behind the Force India of Perez. Yeah, there's just water being sprayed up, but we can definitely get the move up now for P11, up the inside of Sergio Perez before we even have to brake. We brake later now. There's Valtteri Bottas. We're going to have a little... Oh, we're not going to make contact with Valtteri. We're definitely in the mixture now. Can we get points? It's so close to between these cars battling out. Bottas get the better run up the corner, up the hill now. Perez, I don't know where Perez is. He's not in this battle. But there's Bottas. We've got to try and outbrake him. Surely going into the corner we do, but we're going to have to just go on the grass. We get the move up. We're in P10. There's some points for you. Next up is Danny Kvyat. We can surely get Danny Kvyat. Oh, I've just dropped my plug socket. So, Kvyat's next up. We can easily get him. Surely, there's no debating. We're on a -1 lap of fuel, so we're going to have to save that in a minute. But coming through now, Danny Kvyat getting a little bit on the AstroTurf, but he's gaining on us. He's actually getting creating a bit of a gap. So we go down the standard, coming up to hill, and now we're going to come up this corner. We're going to reduce the wheel spin of the rear end. We're up in the points, which is the important thing, but obviously 2 points is better than 1. Kvyat actually holding it, and you can see there's a Sauber up in P7 at the moment. Kvyat's battling with Alonso, so maybe we can catch him with... Oh, we just breezed past Kvyat there. So there wasn't really much of a test or a challenge there, but we've got past him. That's got to be the crucial thing now. Surely next, Fernando Alonso. That can't be one we can get. Hopefully the Sauber can hold him up long enough that we can get the move. But you can see we're right behind Fernando Alonso. This Sauber's doing us an absolute treat now. He's coming through now, around the final corner. We're going to have a little bit of wheel spin up into 5th gear now. 6th at 150 miles an hour, up into rich fuel mixture. We make a little bit of improvement in the final sector. We're 7 tenths down on Fernando Alonso, down into lean fuel mixture. We got the slipstream, we got the straight line speed, but Alonso seemingly getting past the Sauber. We can't take advantage of it though. We're going to try and get past him, but Alonso, unless we can get past him really quickly and get in the braking zone at this next coming corner as we go up the hill, we're not going to get past him. We skip forward later onto lap 28. Gutierrez, and you can see Alonso is pulling away from us sadly, but it's Gutierrez now. We're going to get a little bit of a cut on that corner. We get a warning, but we don't take warnings from no one. Coming up the hill now for the long long right-hander. We're going to go round the outside of Esteban Gutierrez. We go around the outside, better traction, and that's us up into P8. That's 4 points now. Can we close down Alonso for 6 points? It's highly unlikely that we're going to, especially with the pace of that Ferrari, and you can see the conditions are almost dry. So whether or not there'll be a little glitch where they'll be pitting onto the dries, it seems not, as Daniel Ricciardo wins for the Red Bull. Oh my god, a car other than Mercedes has won, and you can see Alonso has absolutely sledgehammered it off, lads. He has just decided, you know what, nah, I'm alright, I'm just going to breeze this one. Bottas is 3.5 seconds, so we've shown some form of good pace, but it's dry weather conditions. But congratulations to Danny Ricciardo, who has won here in Spain. Unbelievable. Alonso, the home favourite, would have been the man they would love to have seen on there, but I don't think they would have minded seeing young Daniel Ricciardo pick up his first ever Formula 1 Grand Prix race. We're very tentative around the final corner, but oh my god, it's going to be a 1 minute 40, 1 minute 41 as we cross the line. A good performance from Sergio, starting in P12, gained 4 positions, actually reached his target, but Jenson Button, a great performance again in P6, for the first time I believe, actually outracing his teammate. I think he might have done it previously, I'm unsure, but Jenson Button, great showing there. But Fernando Alonso from 4th all the way down to 7th isn't good at all. But the drivers you've got to look out for, Button getting in P6 was really well. Esteban Gutierrez, clap clap, P17 to P10. He made the strategy work, and it's a really, really important thing to note that Nico Rosberg is ahead of Lewis Hamilton there. But only 1 second separated Nico from Daniel. So he got out of the DRS zone because at the end there was DRS as there was dry weather conditions. Oh, don't know what I've done there. A little bit of a burp. But, guys, for some reason I can't, I'm not flicking through, but it will definitely come in a second. I can see it, it's clocking down. But Valtteri Bottas in P9, not a bad performance for the Williams team. I don't know what happened to Massa, he had a decent qualifying session as well. We're in P7 for the Drivers' Championship. Jenson down in P10, Ricciardo moves up P3, he's equal to Fernando Alonso, who's in 4th. The only reason he's ahead of him, of course, he's won a Grand Prix. Nico Rosberg leading Hamilton. Mercedes AMG on 181, we're down in 4th. Not a bad showing, we're winning the best of the rest at the moment, ahead of the Williams and the Force Indy's. But at this point, guys, if you have enjoyed, then please leave a like down below. Dusty Races is hi YouTube. If you would, please subscribe for more, and I will see you guys next time.